and welcome to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads. And also to those of you who are listening to us on Business Talk Radio, welcome, welcome, welcome. Our show today is life's amazing journey. And I am Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am thrilled to have you here. We appreciate your loyalty. And we've got a dynamic show for you today. Speaking of dynamic and handsome and charismatic and intelligent and very sexy, my co-host, the star of our show, John Christian, is here today.
That's the best introduction I've had today.
How are you, my friend?
I'm very good, thank you, my friend. How are you? Love the new backdrop, darling. Super.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is a film and theater background. So I figured for today with the entertainment, why not? So you've been quite busy. I've been seeing some of your social media posts. I love the clip, the advertisement for the vacation venue. That was wonderful.
Yeah, I really have had some amazing jobs on amazing locations. So, you know, this is a very blessed life in the entertainment industry.
What's one of your favorite memories as an entertainer?
Oh, wow. Well, there's the two sides of it. There's me as the performer on stage, and there's me as the film actor. I guess one of my favorite on-stage experiences was one of our top stars surprised me. I used to do an impression of him. His name was Norman Wisdom, and he was a mega comedian star. And our two managers got together and set it up for him to come on stage just as I was to do an impression of him one night in my summer show. So that was a beautiful, beautiful moment.
And how did you react, John?
Well, my stomach fell through my feet. You can imagine, it's like, I've been watching this man on film for years and studying him and, getting all of his gestures and the voice and everything else. And suddenly he's there standing beside me. And the audience, I'd actually just put because he wore a cap and a jacket, and I just put those on, and the audience went, whoa. And I thought, oh God, this is going great. I haven't even said anything yet. And then I saw somebody in the corner of my eye, and it was Norman walking across the stage, and he was just so delightful. He actually said to me after in the bar, he said, and I hope you didn't mind my coming on to the stage. I was a little concerned about upstaging you. I said, oh, no, it's all right, Norman. And he said, oh, that's so cute.
That's a great story. I was going to ask if you went through with the impersonation.
Yeah. Oh, did. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was fabulous. But I had to regroup myself very quickly, as you can imagine.
Absolutely. Wow, that's a great story. And John, people know you as an entertainer, but you have so many other facets and so much value that you bring to this world. I'm going to spotlight you again and just share with us a little bit about the other work that you do, if you would, please.
Yeah. Well, I've taken my my life's experience as an entertainer and I've married it with also equal amount of time traveling the world and studying and learning from indigenous people and spiritual masters in martial arts and yoga and stuff like that. So the program I put together, I believe the material within it should be foundation principles in every education system for character development and integrity and self-trust and self-confidence. So they're the kind of things I work with.
We definitely do need more of that. That's for sure.
Oh my God. I think that's the weakest point, really. That's what undermines us. And, there are powers that know that, so they play on it. So we don't have a real strong core sense of who we are and our worth and our value. Because unfortunately, we're taught in an unenlightened education system that we're not enough already. So what I've learned is we're already enough. By the very nature that we're breathing, it means that life finds us enough already, whether we call that God or whatever, consciousness. So we've lost awareness of that because we've been taught to think I'm only as good as, whether I can read or write or add up, or if I'm famous, which I chased all of that, if I have the right partner in my life. And none of those things are dependent on our true worth and value. And that's what's missing. that knowledge, and it's the experience of that knowledge. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. I was reminded the other day, looking at my nephew and his wife. They have a new baby. She's 2 weeks old, actually. And I thought, how when you're a baby, you're so innocent and you don't have all these rules and guidelines, and people haven't gotten into your head and brainwashed you about you're not enough. And it's interesting as to
I
when
use
that
this.
transfer.
Sorry,
No,
I
no, it's okay. I was
actually
going to
use.
say, when the transformation takes place, from when you're a baby to
Yeah.
when that happens.
Yeah, it's profound, and it's like the indigenous that I've spent time with. They take their children from the age of 7. They're already training them and coaching them, but at the age of 7, they have initiation processes where that child is taught, from today you are responsible for your life. At the age of 7, so you've got a completely different mindset and character that's not dependent on false value belief systems about yourself. Yeah. In fact, in one of my meditations that I do for myself, and I do in my training programs, is to remember, what was it like before I learned to think, and to meditate on that. What was that like? I was innocent. Just go out and look at a baby, like you just said. Look at that baby, really study that baby, feel that baby, and look in those eyes, and there is just clear, conscious intelligence, that's pure and innocent. And my Japanese master, in her 90s, she was pure innocence because she never got trained through an education system that taught her mind to be full of confusing thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes.
Well, I'm excited to have that opportunity to look into this baby's eyes this weekend. Yay! So,
Yeah.
yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So we've got a great guest that you brought forth today. I'm really looking forward to bringing him out. And I know you're going to sing something for us. So are you ready to do that?
Yeah, actually, this song I like because of the lyric, because we all know we go through these stages of the ego being kind of humbled in life. And the entertainment industry is the perfect arena if you want to go through that school and learn to have self-esteem without ego. So I've been through all of those hoops, of getting carried away with myself and thinking, oh, I'm famous now. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be rich. Like, well, everybody really loves me now. To have to learn that at the end of the day, you're just another person doing a job. And it doesn't pay to get on your high horse, otherwise people knock you off of it. So I like this song. I like the lyrics in it. It's from ABBA, so I'll sing it for you. Hold on. Are we ready to go?
Yes, sir.
I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I tell a joke, you've probably heard it before. But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, and everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want is to sing it out loud. So I say thank you for the music and songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who could live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Mother said I was a dancer before I could walk. Well, she said that I'd started to sing long before I could talk. But I've often wondered How did it all start? Who found that there's nothing can capture a heart like a melody can? Well, whoever it was, I'm a fan. So I say thank you for the music and songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who could live without it, I ask, in all honesty? What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I've been so lucky. I am a guy without a care. I want to sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a life, what a chance. Thank you for the music and songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it, I ask, in all honesty? What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Yes, I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Thank you for that song.
Just beautiful. I love watching your face light up. You're so animated. I see Roland backstage. She's all happy. And that was beautiful. How do you feel?
Good old Roland. We sang together in his car, and he just promised me to not make him sing. But I think he should sing with us.
I think we should bring him out and have him sing. No, we told him we wouldn't do that. So.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you introduce Roland, and then we'll go to a quick break.
Yeah, so Roland is a dear friend. We actually we met in a yoga ashram in the Bahamas, so we'll talk about that during the interview. But just to tell you a bit about Roland, he's a seasoned international entrepreneur and trainer with more than 35 years of experience in sales and marketing in diverse sectors of the markets. Along with his entrepreneurship, Roland is a trained coach and for leaders, and he's trained and consulted companies like Xerox, Johnson & Johnson, and so many more. There's just a long list of what he's done. So Roland is also teaching leadership skills in the University of Danube, I think is the correct pronunciation of that, and Krenz, I hope I pronounced that correctly as well, which is also in Austria, because he's from there. So over to my dear friend Roland to speak to you today.
All right. Thank you so much. We're going to bring Roland out right after this break. Everybody, hold on. He's coming out. We've got to hear from some of our sponsors so we don't have to interrupt Roland. We're going to start off. Our first clip is called the Earthshot Prize. And I want to thank Ian Pelham-Turner and Helena Shard from Celebrate Great Britain Royally Rich, as they have allowed us to play this beautiful clip. And then we'll hear something from me, and then we'll be right back.
Ours is a world of wonder. Every day it reminds us of its beauty. It touches us, teaches us, and astounds us. But it also warns us that what we throw away does not go away. That higher temperatures mean a lot more than longer summers. That we can no longer take life as we know it for granted.
We are at a unique stage in our history. Never before have we had
such an awareness of what we are doing to the planet. And never before have we had the power to do something about that. We
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads. You are watching life's amazing journey, or maybe you're listening on Business Talk Radio. With me today is the wonderful, dynamic John Christian. And John, your guest today is here. Another introduction, please.
Roland. This is my friend Roland from Austria. and we met in the yoga ashram in the Bahamas, which is really nice because we've got these two kind of parallel paths in our lives between coaches and businesses and other things, and our interest in taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. So perhaps, Roland, you'll combine your information about yourself with that and tell us more. Why do you do that?
Yeah. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Dr. Jacalyn, and thank you, John, for having me here. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to join this. Thank you so much, because you're doing an amazing job to share wisdom with different people to the audience. Yeah, what I'm doing, I have as I'm getting older, I get more experience and different fields. And as you said, John, before, I have different backgrounds in businesses as an employee, as a manager in different brands, but also as an entrepreneur. And I found out that more and more people need support, need coaching, because most people are lost in their journey, especially in this time now. So it's for me, I'm very driven to support people to have a more fulfilled life, a better life. Actually, I'm mainly a business coach, a business trainer. I see myself as a sparring partner, as I call myself. But it's not only business, it's the whole life, and being a businessman or supporting business, just a part of a person, it's a part of a role. Actually, I'm supporting people and their whole life, whatever it needs to be more fulfilled, to be more happy. That's what I'm doing.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you for sharing that. Who are your typical clients?
My typical clients are, have a business background, so they're leaders in different sectors. From mostly on the C level, on a higher level. Mostly they're male ones, because in the world, most leaders are males. So it's mostly male, there's only a few women, unfortunately, because I think we need more feminine power in the business. But it's male leaders are from international companies worldwide who stuck and have facing the challenge that they have nobody to talk about. They can't talk to their colleagues of the fear of being weak, and they can't talk to their spouses because maybe she's not understanding what's going on, is not really support. So they're caught in a trap. And I'm going to speak from my own experience. When I was an entrepreneur, same was to me. So I always tried to sort out problems by myself, always have an internal reference, internal dialogue, and never learned to talk about my emotions, what I found out years ago, and share these emotions with other ones. And so, yeah, that's a really challenge especially for male leaders, not expressing their charms because they believe it's weak, what it is not. What I
for
learned.
men in general.
Yeah, for men in general. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a great point to bring out to our audience, because people may not be aware of that. You see someone who's in a powerful position and you think, oh, they have it all together. And meanwhile, inside they might be struggling. Who are they going to tell? Because if they tell someone, then that facade that's been created is going to start to fall apart. It could have impacts on the organization, on the stock price, the stockholders, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, absolutely. That's what John mentioned before. In his career as an entertainment, there's a lot of ego. And it's in the business, in industry, it's the same one. It's a lot of ego, there's a lot of politics there. And everybody's wearing a mask. So people are very stressed. And most clients of mine have any kind of addiction to compensate this stress. Maybe it's alcohol or drugs, or it's intense sport, what also can be addiction, whatever it is. Because they're not really showing how they are as a full person. You know, we have this rational part in us, we have this emotional part, we have this institutional part, and this spiritual part in us. But in business, we only show a quarter of it, or even less, or just a rational part. And we think, or we believe from our education, that it's not good, or it's not helpful for our career, for our business, to show the other parts too. And I believe that's absolutely not true. It's very, very important to be seen and to act as a whole person.
And it's so interesting how the different belief systems in different cultures dictate that to people too, I've found in my travels.
Yeah, when I studied history years ago, and when you think about the development of our society and about business, and when we started to leave our farms and move in beginning of the 19th century with the Industrial Revolution, when we moved cities and worked there, the only thing that they wanted from us is just work. So we split it, our home and our job, and that's where the tragedy began. Yeah, and the only thing that was asked from us was our rational part, our workforce, and the power in arms and working, or the brain. That's what was asked for. The other thing was not. And you see this also in our, I don't know how it's in the US, but here in Europe, it's the same as also in the educational system. So it starts very, very early. Yeah, very, very early. And I think that's a huge problem. And I think we have to, especially in this time, we have to reflect, to reconnect, to restart, and think about that. It's not all about being faster, stronger, more successful. It's being about more deepen, more flexible, and being more purposeful. And a lot of leaders in the industry recognize this and they want support to go in a new direction. That's what we are doing.
Roland, I know one of your programs that you run, which I think is one of your main ones, is called Spartner, as in spa. No. How long have you been running that program, and what service do you give in that, and what does Spartner mean to you?
Oh, you know, Spartner, it's a term that I created about 10 years ago. It comes from sparring. You know, in boxing, we have a sparring partner, meaning when you box, you have somebody who trains you, who coaches you, who makes you fit for the real fight. Maybe it's a little bit of tough world, but for the real fight. And I see myself as same, because as a coach, you just have one part. As a trainer, you have one part. As a consultant, you have one part. I see myself as a sparring partner, and I call it as partner for my clients to make them fit for the world. So I coach them, I consult them, and train them, depending on what it is. So it's a more holistic service, if you want to call it so. To help my clients to be fit for their challenging they're facing in the world. That's what we do.
Very good.
Thank you, Roland. I'm wondering, with the work that you do with corporate executives, how has it changed, if at all, during the pandemic, when business leaders have so many challenges in terms of, at least here in the States, bringing people back to the office. They're not coming to the office, closing down locations, commercial real estate. I mean, we could go on and on and on. What have you found in your work with your clients?
Well, same happened to me, because everything had changed from one moment last year. And we had a lot of video conference, a lot of conversation with leaders all over the world, how they see the future. Are we going back to normal or not? What is going on? And most of them told me that this my same thoughts, and what I believe is that we're not going back to the old normal. We are in a new normal. And the question is, what is going to be the next normal? And we in this last 18 months, the main focus was for us to help our clients because we let's say we go through three phases. First of all, we all had a shock phase. Everything was closed down, shut down, so people have been shocked. Business people too, just shocked. What's going on? So and depending on your level of your education and your experience, the shock phase was longer or shorter. But once you overcome the shock phase, you go into the next phase, is the reflection phase, just reflecting. Okay, what was good in the past? What was bad? What can I change? What can I do differently? What can we adapt in this phase? What is working well for us? For example, sending all our stuff home, doing remotely. What's going well? What is not? How do we communicate with our staff when they're working from home? Do we really trust them that they work from home when we don't see them in the office and control them? And on the other side, what's going on with our clients? How we stay in contact with our clients? So it's in the reflection phase, and then coming in the next phase and say, okay, what we can do differently, what we learn from this pandemic, what can we do differently in the future, and in which direction we are going. And this was the main thing that we did the last 18 months, bringing out new programs for our clients, because the work is changing, and therefore also the learning is changing. What we say, a new work requires a new learning and new thinking. Nobody knows how long this stuff is going on. We don't know it. But what we can do is being prepared and being focused and taking self-responsibility, meaning being a cause and not an effect. Yeah. So because we all deal with the same problem right now, but the question is, what are you doing? Does this thing let you down, or you use the situation and reflect and think about your life, about your business, about whatever you're doing, and say, okay, maybe I should do something differently. What can I do better and different? And I guess I think a crisis is always a good time to reflect. Always a good time to reflect. That's what I believe. It has also for myself. So we also reorganized my company together with my business partner. So we used this time when we had less client contact and say, okay, just reflect and think what we can do differently, because life is changing. We all know this. It's always changed. There's always change. It goes faster, faster, faster. And the question is, are you prepared for a change because you want to change, or do you have to change because you have to change? The question is, are you prepared to be proactive, or are you in a passive position to be reactive? What is not always good.
Really good points. Thank you so much. I'm wondering if you see, either of you, if you see people who are still holding on. When you talk about the shock and the reflection and looking back, and there are people I found who are still looking back and saying, I want it to be this way. I want to go back this way. And then they live in this constant state of fear and anger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, we did a lot of interviews the last months with business leaders all over the world and different situations, different industry. And the point was that about 20% go a very radical way. They say, okay, we shut down all offices and we stay remotely because our staff loves it to stay home, work from remotely. So it's about 20%. 50% say we're going to offer a hybrid version, and the rest, unless the bad news said, okay, we want to go back, and what they didn't say is because we don't trust our staff. And I strongly believe that this industries or this particular companies with this particular managers not trusting their staff and their people, I don't see them in 5 years anymore on the market, I believe, because the world changed. The world changed years ago from a seller to a buyer market, and now it changed from how you say it in English, from a job giver to an employee market. Yeah, so people look exactly where they're going to work, especially the younger generations. It's changed totally, and companies who don't offer this opportunity to their people, to their talents, because they're looking for talents for their talents, they won't survive on the market. So we see this clearly. And we always see in the future also big companies, really huge companies, that disappear from the markets because they had really troubles on changes. And that's what triggers many people. There's actually an amazing book out from Ben Sherwood. It says, "Who survives?" Meaning, when you face a crisis, how long does it take you to get out of this shock phase and get the facts and do what you have to do? Not complaining and being passively. And that's what we see in this pandemic. There's some really big companies with really big leaders. They're still in the shock phase. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what I say, being a cause, not an effect, but it's not easy.
Yeah, fear of change, fear of the unknown. That's Absolutely. The biggest thing. Fear's the most destructive force to our intelligence on the rational, logical, deductive level. But I always focus on bringing out the intuitive intelligence, because that's an intelligence that's above and beyond the rational, logical intelligence. So I don't know if Roland, if you'll agree with me right now, that I'm finding more and more that for people that are open to change and to accept the possibility that there is a greater intelligence of intuition within them, and they're prepared to do whatever's necessary to start listening to that, that's the doorway or the porthole to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what we teach in our when we consult organizations, we call reinventing organizations. By Frederick Laloux, who had this concept, is being more purpose, having more purpose in your word, and the most important thing is maybe to be this wholeness. What I said before, it's not only the rational part, but bringing in also the emotional part, the spiritual and the intuitional part. It's so important. Otherwise, I guess we're gonna fail, because we pay a very high price for this success. Yeah, we destroy our environment, the nature, but we also destroy ourselves. We destroy our families, because our health and everything. And I think it's a good time again to reflect and rethink, reconnect with yourself, and then to restart. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you.
It's a strange thing that very often we won't. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Very often we won't. Very often we won't change until the pain is so great we just can't bear it any longer.
Absolutely.
And that's coming fast from every direction.
Absolutely, John. Yeah.
Sorry, Doctor.
Before I retired from my corporate career last year, I was in the employee recognition industry. So it was all about cultures of alignment that were focused on the individual employees. And I remember I've met with many Fortune 500, Fortune 100 leaders, and how they looked at their organization and the individual people, their assets, right? Their employee base. And I could tell just from their attitude if that person was probably going to stay in their position, or if how the company might do. Because if you don't have a culture of recognition, if you're not listening to what your employees have to say, people don't want to go back to an office generally all the time. They've learned to live a different way. They've learned to give up certain things. They've learned to new things, and they're growing. And so I think it's really important that leadership takes that into account, that what do your people want, and how can you give them what they want and still run a successful organization? What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. And that's what our main product now is for our clients. What we request, we get requests almost every day. So finding talents, binding them, developing them, and leading them. That's the future, because we strongly believe that companies will also find who have the right talents to find them. But the right talents, they know exactly what they want, they also know exactly for whom they want to work. So it becomes more and more difficult for companies who stay in the old normal and are not willing to change, to find the good talents, to be ready, to be strong for the future. That's absolutely a challenge.
Thank you, Roland. John, do you want to add anything to that?
I absolutely agree with Roland. It's a fascinating, changing time. I think it's all down to education. And really what we're doing as coaches is providing a forum with which to look at things from another perspective. So I think it's a huge responsibility on the shoulders of a coach, especially nowadays, is to bring in the right tools and techniques and terminology to help people open their minds and look at the real possibility. Hey, change is inevitable. So if we accept that, some of the fear is gone, and then we're more free to think more openly and explore creativity together differently. But it needs to be in a safe environment where people trust that it's okay, like we were saying about difficulty for men, talking about their feelings, especially in the beginning, it's like moving the boulder, is to be a good coach, you've got to know how to communicate so people feel safe and they trust you. Once we've got that door open, then there's so much human potential waiting to come through for us all.
I agree with you. And I'd also like to add, I think one of the reasons that people are unwilling to work with a coach is because the change that's going to be required, the amount of work, what you're going to find out about yourself, what's going to come up for you. And then also you might have to let go of some relationships that you have. And it's easier. My aunt would say the devil you know is better than the one you don't. So stay in your situation because you don't know what else is out there. But once you realize that that's not the case, that there's a whole world of opportunity out there, it's so freeing and liberating, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Some
people, it's all freedom of mind at the end. Sorry, Roland.
Yeah. I say some people have more fear about the new unknown opportunity than from the old pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I have a story for that if you're interested. Many years ago, I did coaching on a private basis, and we helped women, especially women, a few men, especially women, that had to be threatened very badly by their husbands or by their spouses. So we coached them. And I remember one lady, she was a really good lady. She was a lawyer, successful in business, everything, making their own money. And she was beaten by her husband several times. And she came to my coaching. And after a while, I said to her, hey, sorry, but you look good. You're a successful business lady. You can be independent. You can have every man in the world. Why the hell you're not going to leave him? And you know what she said, and I still get buskins. She said, Roland, with him, I already know how to protect. I know how he's hitting me. So she has more fear about a new relationship because she doesn't know what's happening there. So she's staying in the pain. And this is the same in the business. People have so much fear about the new and stick in the pain because they get used to it. They learn to deal with the pain and stay with it. That's really sometimes makes me very emotional.
Oh wow, I got chills when you told that story about the woman. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've heard many like that too.
Yeah. And it's all about to learn about it. So that's why I started last year with a couple of friends in the US. We have a US group. It's every first and third Saturday. And we have a German group every first and third Thursday. We call it Sparring for Men. We meet online, just men in a safe environment. Most of them have a career in different fields. So we just came together as private persons and we just share our emotions, how we feel in our job, how we feel as a husband, how we feel as a father, how we feel as a son of a father that maybe is not present. So I think it's very important, and I learned it from myself, from my girlfriend. She always forces me to talk about my inner world and my emotions, what I never have been trained to learn this. So we have also this group, we call it Sparring for Men, and helping men to reconnect to themselves, because I strongly believe when we reconnect to our emotional self, then we also become a better father, a better husband in private, but we're also a much better leader in the industry, in the business, in the politics.
I really appreciate that. And I think, go ahead.
I was going to say, to see if you both agree with me here, but I think what's really up for the takes is a fundamental shift in values. We have to know what we value nowadays, in our life force energy, where we're going to put it, how we're going to do it, how we're going to treat each other. And we've kind of monetized everything. And so money is the value. as opposed to life and one another. We've got to get back to that.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, people don't feel good. Roland, you just kept saying it's all about feelings. At the end of the day, it's all about feelings. If you don't feel good in your own skin, wherever you are, you're going to be crap. Excuse the French. You're not, because your energy's there. Your heart's not there. So it's not going to work anyway, ultimately.
Absolutely. I remember when we met in the Bahamas in this ashram. I was staying 5 weeks in a tent on the beach.
Yeah.
So no luxury, no villa, nothing was sweet, and the poor simple life. And I was so happy there, just so happy there, because I was reconnected to myself and my inner world and my spirit.
Yeah. See,
Absolutely.
the simple truth. The truth is simple and it sets you free. That's the foundation to all spiritual teachings. Truth is simple. So to yourself be true, and the truth will set you free. The trouble is, people don't know what that means to do that for themselves at the moment. That's our task. Or part of our task.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely wonderful. Gentlemen, we have come to the end of our show. The time has just flown by. I know, it's sad. Roland, I'm going to spotlight you. If you would share with our audience how they can get in touch with you and who should reach out to you. People on the radio can't read the banner, so if you could give your contact information, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Who can contact me? I mean, I work with everybody who is 100% committed. I commit 100% to my clients and expect the same from my clients. 100% committed to make a difference in the life, to change. When you're 100% committed, you want to change something, I'm very happy if you contact me. Thank you.
Thank you. And your website is?
My website is www.spartner-performance.com. And my email is Roland, my name, roland.friedl@spartner-performance.com. Spartner with double R because it comes from sparring.
I love that. Thank you. It's been a delight having you and hearing all about your journey and the work that you're doing. Congratulations on all of that.
Thank you so much. And it was an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Roland. Nice to see you, my friend.
Thanks, Roland.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Om Shanti, as we would say.
Om Shanti, my friend. Om Shanti.
I always hate when I have to hit that remove button.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling because everybody, we have such good conversations. You could just stay here and chat for the whole day.
Yeah. Yes. Especially when it's rapport coming from the heart. Go ahead.
Yes, definitely. And I was going to say, I know you have a big week coming up. Will we be seeing you next week?
This is a good question right now. I'm going to have to let you know on that one.
You hear it live.
I might be filming because I've had the cue that I've got to stand by in case.
Well, congratulations on that. That's fantastic.
Well, it will be if they confirm me for sure. So
they will. I'm sending you positive energy and vibes. They definitely will.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, I'm going to spotlight you, and I'm going to look for your banner. What is the best way for people to reach you, and who should contact you?
Yeah, well, actually, anybody right now that feels that they need some support of a listening ear from somebody who's been around the block. And I've learned a lot of things about our nature, mentally, physically, spiritually. And, I'm really happy to help with self-esteem, building self-trust, self-confidence, presentation skills, relationship issues, developing intuitive intelligence, inner peace and relaxation. So much more could be said. But if you want to know more, my website is www.lifebalanceportal.com. And my email is john@lifebalanceportal.com. And I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, John. It's always fun seeing you and meeting your wonderful friends. You've got a really fantastic group of people that you surround yourself with.
I do.
And you certainly get around. You travel all around the world with your different friends. I love it.
Yeah, in the last 18 months, I've been, despite everything else that's going on, because I like to trust that there is a greater intelligence at work as long as you work with it. So it's taken me very safely from England to the States, throughout the States over to Australia, through Australia back to the States, from the States to Mallorca to visit with Roland, who has a really lovely kind of ranch style place there with a big swimming pool and they rent rooms, so you should think about that one too. So we were over there meditating and sorting our own lives out. So I've done all of that. Then I went to Portugal thinking I was going for 10 days with a backpack, and I stayed 10 months.
And who knows where you're going now, right?
Well, right now I'm looking at probably, because I've just sold my home, so people know that, and I'm literally jumping into the complete unknown. And the reason I do that is because I want to know for absolute certain there is a greater intelligence, and as long as you do your part to meet it halfway, it will take care of you. It proves it everywhere. So I push the boundaries to prove that, and it works all the time. It works.
Well, we're excited to have you come back and tell us what's going on with John, and where have the boundaries taken you? Where have you crossed over the boundaries to?
Yeah. That's letting go. You see, this is for me. That's the beauty of change. Once you've got past the fears in the head level, and the mind is sitting comfortably with the heart and that emotional feeling of trust, and you jump with that energy. It's like there's this flow. It's like a stream that you're in that takes care of you, and you take care of it.
And that's trust and respect.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you again for being here. I look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
And viewers. Bye.
Bye. Everyone, stay tuned for the rest of our programming today. We have a jam-packed schedule. I'll be coming back in 10 minutes with our Talking Heads program. And I'm really excited. This is our last Talking Heads for about a month. We are taking our platform to the next level. So if you would like to be a talking head, and what is a talking head, by the way? It is an expert in your industry. You are recognized as a leading expert in your industry. You can become part of our team, and we will have you on this platform and many others that we also have. So you can reach out to me, Jacalyn at drjacalyn.com. So stay tuned for our last program for about a month. It's coming up right after this. I've got two amazing presenters who are going to be joining me today, and I look forward to sharing that with you. And again, I'm just looking for my slide. Here it is. Talking Heads. Welcome to your place at Talking Heads. You can contact me, as I mentioned, and I'd be happy to speak with you, go through the interview process to make sure it's a good fit for both parties. All right. Thank you, John. Thank you, Roland. Good seeing you. Thank you, Business Talk Radio. And thank you for being here today with us on USA Global TV. We'll see you soon. Bye.